Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel Trading Secrets. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. For those of you who do not know, my name is Ali. I have over 20 years experience teaching accounting, economics, business and law through this channel. I'll be providing some stock analysis and a quick update on the $1 Million Challenge. So if anybody is not aware of this is a journey of investment of $1,000 to a return of $1 million over a period of 3 years using a strategy called compound return investing. So the objective is try to get 201 trades, each with an average return of 3.5%. It's not 201 consecutive trades. We do take into account losses. So for further details about how to join us for less than $9 a month, information is available in the description below. In today's video, we're going to be looking at a new Congress research report covering MMTLP. We're also going to be looking at some market manipulators who have just received jail time. And we're also going to be looking at AMC and news with regards to the dividends. So before we get started, let's have a look at what's happening in the market. So first of all, in terms of Europe stocks closed higher with the economy in focus. Obviously, inflation is a key area, not only in the US, but also in Europe. In terms of today in the market, with regard to Nvidia, the Nvidia shares did hit an all-time 52-week high. So if you remember in the previous video we covered Nvidia, we also added this to our weekly watch list. So congratulations to everybody who got in on Nvidia. And today at the start of open market, the US stocks did head up higher. So overall, near the end of the market, we can see that the stocks are still struggling for direction after the tech-led rally. And in terms of other news with regard to earnings, headline here we can see with regard to Dick's Sporting Goods, the stock was slammed after an earning miss by a wide margin. The reason was shoplifting, apparently. So they haven't got a grip to this problem, and it has affected their earning. And I think the stock price was significantly down today. So what I posted earlier today with regard to market manipulation is that if you are guilty of market manipulation, fraud and spoofing, the normal course of action should be jail time, and there are many nefarious actors and market makers guilty of this in the MMTLP fiasco, who I believe should be doing jail time right now. These people are remaining silent, they're not tweeting, they're avoiding questions, and they're also just pretending to be as good as Snow White. So I'm sure everybody knows who these people are, but what there was with regard to news today is regarding Greg Smith. He was a similar nefarious actor and the former head of JP Morgan Chase & Co.'s precious metals desk. So Greg and his top trader have been sentenced to prison for spoofing, fraud and attempted market manipulation, and Greg Smith was also found guilty of market manipulation last year, and I have shared an article there for you to have a look at from Bloomberg. Let's have a look at news of the Congress Research Service report on MMTLP. So what I posted earlier is that this report was written by Eva Sue, who is apparently a specialist in financial economics, but in this article she has clearly failed to understand the MMTLP fiasco in her write-up. The article is actually quite negative, it's very badly written, and it is using sources of information that are factually incorrect and negatively biased. And I am now going to reach out to Eva, and I do ask Eva to reach out and try to hear directly from the affected parties, and I believe this is one thing that she hasn't done. The affected parties that she needs to reach out to are people who are the MMTLP shareholders. So these are the most important stakeholders, and I believe you have failed to include or speak to any of them in your article. So let's have a quick look at the key points of the article. But before we do that, this is Eva Sue. Apparently she's an analyst for financial economics in the Congressional Research Service with one video on C-SPAN. And obviously not impressed by the article so far. So let's have a look at the article here, dated August the 21st, 2023. And the headline here, first of all, the headline is very misleading, and she's titled it Meme Stock. So Meme Stock, MMTLP and FINRA trading halt. So what I suggest that Eva does, with a background in economics, finance and understanding of financial markets, she first of all needs to go out and find out what a meme stock is, and then rewrite this article, because that is not a headline that she should be using, and she should be quite embarrassed to use the word meme stock. So that is not a great start to this article, and a lot of the information that she's added on here is basically information I would say probably a 15-year-old could do, just quoting sources that she could find. A lot of it is from the FAQ FINRA released that we had earlier in the year, and what she's talked about abnormal trading here. She's talked about non-voting Series A preferred shares, and obviously she's acknowledged the 40,000 letters. In terms of the social media and meme stock trading that she's talked about, obviously she's referring to GameStop. GameStop is a completely different story. It has no relevance, no link, and no correlation with MMTLP. So if she's trying to ascertain some correlation with GameStop, then obviously that is a very, very significant misunderstanding, and it has got nothing to do with that. That is where obviously she should be quite embarrassed in terms of a lack of understanding. So obviously she's talking about the price going up from $2 a share to around $12 a share. So again, she's not specific in prices. Obviously an economist would be much more specific about that. So she feels obviously it was fueled by social media valuation discussions, despite research analysts' belief that MMTLP shares were worthless. So again, no significant basis there for her research. In terms of the FINRA trading halt, again, she's only sourcing the FINRA FAQs. She's not asking questions here about obviously the share count. She's not addressed any issue in this article with regard to naked shorting, market manipulation. She's not looked at how MMTLP was created. She's not looked at the history of the two market makers. She's not looked at the company who did not agree with the creation of MMTLP. So she's just basically done a copy and paste job throughout this. So she's talked about the creation, listing, deletion, and conversion. Just quoting sources and obviously talking about the FINRA trading halt. Again, no understanding of the trading halt whatsoever and the reasons behind that. And then if we have a look at the headline here and the title that she's talking about in terms of policy discussions, this is where she's talking about investors. But one thing that I am very, very concerned about her in this article, when you talk about investors, you should reach out to investors and get investor stories. So she has failed to do that. Obviously, we talk about transparency, but she's not addressed the transparency in terms of the blue sheet data. That's something that she's failed to address in this article. Obviously, at the bottom here, she says whether there is this existence of fraud and manipulation, such as illegal forms of naked shorting. So again, she's addressing that more of a question rather than a fact. But again, the blue sheet data would help to clarify that, and she's not really looked at that. So the fact at the end, she's also talked about the pump and dump. She's referring here to insider trading, looking at quoting John Berder's MMTLP transactions and drawn related suspicions. So again, very convenient for her to add that in. But overall, a very, very negative article and very, very poorly written. So shout out here to Crucial Mix, who's stated it's amazing that these types of research articles get written on MMTLP with not one shareholder or company official ever being contacted. So that's a good point. Yes, no shareholders were contacted, but another good point here is no company officials were contacted. So she's just going to use FINRA and the SEC as her source, which again is the sign of a very, very badly written article. So again, overall, not too impressed with the article. It's full of factual errors, and obviously we can see what angle she's coming from. And final thing I'd like to do is share news with regard to the AMC dividends. So shout out here to Frank Nez, who posted earlier, AMC will now distribute a new $13 cash dividend. So the note here is basically the dividend is a 13.33% dividend, and you get one share for every 7.5 that you hold. So if we have a look at further details, it states here, under the settlement, AMC will provide stock worth an estimated $129 million to common stockholders to settle the legal claims related to its stock conversion plan. And it also states here, in terms of the company announcement, they're going to distribute approximately 0.133 AMC common shares for every AMC share held, with the record date being Thursday, August the 24th, and the payable date being Monday, August the 28th. So AMC Entertainment will also be effecting a 1-for-10 reverse stock split. That is going to happen on Thursday, August the 24th. So obviously, in terms of what's happened on the market for AMC, the stock has taken a significant nosedive. So the market has not reacted positively so far. So in terms of an overall reminder about the upcoming AMC dividend distribution, information to be aware of and take a note of: a payment amount per share $13.33, payment date August 28, 2023, record date August 24, 2023, and the ex-dividend date August 23rd, 2023. Finally, if you'd like to get access to our daily stock alerts and weekly watch list, where this week we called out stocks such as TMBR and also Nvidia, details are in the description below. Thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned.